Before we can install cable, we need to make sure that our conduit doesn't have any leaks or damage that could prevent it from holding air pressure. Luckily, Condux has everything you need to perform a reliable pressure test. In this demo, we'll be making use of a slightly different blower model than the GS400, but the principles and the process will be nearly identical. So now we're going to pressure test. We've got our air compressor on, and we've got our duct in the air block. What we're going to do is we're just going to introduce air to the line. We're going to seal the air block, and we're going to push all our air down the line. We're going to seal the end of the run using a carrot, or this is an interduct pulling eye, but you can use anything that'll stop the air from going out the other end of the duct. We're going to take our puck, we're going to put it right there, and we're going to close our air block. And what the puck does is it just keeps the air from going back. And it forces all the air to go forward. Now the critical thing with this is these bolts can keep spinning even when they're tight. We do want a really good seal on this, so we do want the two pieces to touch. However, once they're touching, you just need to snug it up after that. You don't want to keep wrenching on the nuts, otherwise you could strip these out or break them. You just want to kind of cinch everything down so it doesn't move around. So we've got our air block closed and sealed. I've got to go seal the end of the duct run. I'm going to use the Condux interduct pulling eye to seal the end of the run, but you can use whatever you want so long as it keeps the pressure in the line. So we've got our duct sealed, we've got our air compressor running, and we've got the end of our run blocked up. Now I'm going to introduce air to the line. When I introduce air to the line, I'm going to fill up the run to about 100 PSI, and then I'm going to leave it sit. I'm going to turn the air off, and I'm just going to leave it pressurized. Now we'll get some air loss around the back of the puck a little bit, but not a lot. We will see a little bit of a downtick in our pressure as we go, but ultimately we're looking to see if the line holds pressure. A lot of times if it's not holding pressure properly, you won't see an increase in the pressure inside the duct, or if you do and you turn the air off, you'll instantly see it starting to lose pressure right away. So let's go ahead and introduce the air. So my pressure's up to about 40 PSI, 80 PSI, and now we're at about 100. So now that we're at 100, I'm going to go ahead and turn the air off, and I'm just going to watch it. And I can see that I'm getting a very, very, very gradual ticking down, but it's really still holding pressure. It's at about 95 PSI. And it should hold this for about a minute or so. If it starts to lose pressure right away though, you know something's wrong with the duct, and you're going to want to figure that out before you start installing fiber. Some of the causes for a duct not being able to hold pressure would be if in a reburying process of the duct, you might have gotten a puncture from a rock or something like that. More than likely it's bad couplers or bad connections in the line, so you always want to check there first. Pressure testing is very important. If you don't pressure test your line, you might have a really good run all the way up to that 1,000-foot mark, and then all of a sudden it goes past that bad coupler and you lose all of your air and you won't be able to go any further. So we've had it about a minute. We're still at about 90 PSI, so I know we're good. I'm going to go ahead and let the air out. So we're fully depressurized right now. And it's always important that you depressurize the line before you do anything with the air block. You never want to be in a situation where you've loosened up your bolts and your line is fully pressurized and something blows off. And that's all we need to do for pressure testing.